How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is the post episode 18 live stream. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. We are just getting some exercise for our horse right now, and we are going to be starting our stream very, very soon. Just going to wait a few more minutes to see who all joins us, and I also need to see if everything's looking golden on my end. I have been having some internet issues today, and it has been rather fun to deal with. Now where'd that horse run off to? Where are you, horse? Why can't I see you? Alright, Oh! Every time. I'm never getting a brown horse ever again. Stand still! There we go. Alright. Let's run away while we can. Oh, goodness. Alright, let's check and see how everything's looking on my end. Let's see. We have got everything looking good. Jody! Hey, how's it going, bud? Having a real good day? Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Name the horse Coco. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, that is a good idea. I like that. Hold on. I like that. Let's see. How do I rename? Oh, did I? Oh, there it goes. Haha, nice. Like it. Except, I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll call it Ninja, because that thing just hides in plain sight. I swear if it wanted to, it could turn on me and just end me. Oh, goodness. Alrighty, let's move the equipment where it needs to be, and then we can start rocking and rolling. There we go. Perfect. All right. Make sure I get my phone turned on silent, because that would be nothing worse than somebody start calling me right in the middle of the stream. There we go. All right, like I said, we're going to wait a few extra minutes here to see who all joins us. Let's see. Coco is my favorite series. Oh, that is, yes. 100% agree. Love it. Let's see. So we've got a bunch of stuff that we need to do today. We've got contracts that we could do. We've got to maintain our fields because we just freshly mowed everything. We baled all the straw from the previous field next to us there. We also got all the barley off of it. So we are rocking and rolling, but that means we got to get them back up and running. So like I said, we're going to wait just a few seconds here before we get going and just go from there. Give it maybe about one more minute, I think. One more minute and then we'll be good to go. All right. Oh, and Jody, you're ahead of me there, bud. So, I want to, before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to Jody here in the chat. Jody, you've been an amazing friend to me and friend of the channel. I greatly appreciate you. We had a conversation earlier today regarding moderators and the need for this channel. As we are continuing to grow and get bigger and bigger, we are going to run across some things that are not going to be the most desirable for the channel. So need to start taking seriously some of the moderation portions, and Jody was very kind enough to accept and agree to become the channel's very first moderator. So anybody out there right now, go ahead and give yourself a shout out and give Jody a big round of congratulations. Jody, again, thank you. And let me go ahead, and I believe it's that right there. Let's see. I believe. There we go. So Jody, go ahead and give yourself a shout. Appreciate the love and friendship you have, but no problem. And look at that pretty little wrench next to your name. Again, Jody, thank you so very much. Greatly appreciate you coming to hang out on these streams all the time. Just, you know, everything that you do for this channel. Greatly, greatly appreciate you, bud. Really, really do. Now, let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling on these fields, because we got to lime, we got to fertilize, we got to do everything to these fields. Let's see, for some reason, okay, so we need, there it is. And Jody says it's the #1 channel on YouTube. I greatly appreciate that, bud. I really do. Really, really do. I do try very hard to make this a very fun place to be, and a place where everybody would want to come out and hang out and just have a good old time. So I'm glad I've been able to find, you know, various people out there, including yourself, who want to come on, have some fun, and just enjoy what it is that we're doing here. So first thing we got to do, lime this side field, and then we're just going to start snaking our way through the grass fields. Ooh, 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 ooh. And I'm already messing this up. There we go. Check it out. And Jody says, thank you so much, buddy. That means a lot. No, trust me, bud. Like I said, you know, you were, you know, a very good friend to me and to this channel. You have gone way above and beyond what it is that, way above and beyond what could be asked of. And I just greatly, greatly appreciate it. All the engagement, you know, across all the, you know, all the platforms and all that stuff. Just, it means a whole lot. It really does. So as we continue to work on this field, we are going to use a ton more product on this one than we are on all of our other fields, because we have been maintaining over time the lime and fertilizer for the other fields. This is the first time that this field's been touched by me, so it's, you know, probably just set to standard basic stuff. But you can see just how much product we're going through, and we're going to be going through it real quick. So let's see how we do here. Ooh, I keep drifting. And what's bad is I'm not even tired or anything. Like, this is, like, that's normally stuff I do when I'm just exhausted at 3 in the morning and I'm trying to just maintain, trying to get contracts done or trying to get work done that the worker can do. Oof. Like the other day, I was recording episode 18, as a matter of fact, and while I was recording it, the first part, because I've been having to record in chunks, the first set of recording that I've done, I was up until about 2 in the morning, and I have some outtakes and bloopers that will likely make it to the shorts. And one of them in particular, I'm driving the tractor with you know, I can't even remember what I was driving it with. It might have been just a trailer, just a normal trailer. And as I'm passing by the feeder right there by the cow barn, I end up just a hard turn to the left, and I drive right into the cow barn. I fell asleep. I literally fell asleep and just, like, it makes me wish that sometimes that there was damage to buildings and stuff like that. Like, how ridiculous would that be to try to come back on and explain, hey everybody, I kind of made a boo-boo. It would not be easy. Would not be easy at all. Let's see. We've got Jody saying, ain't had a lot of friends in the last few years doing a bit of forestry on dark side. Ooh, nice. What did you make any progress there on Alma, or did you just hop over to dark side? Let's see. My phone keeps messing up so much today. Doing forestry on dark forest. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, dark side. I was You know what, Jody, it's okay. Your phone is just a Star Wars fan. We can't blame it. Oh, goodness. I do like me the old Star Wars, and I'll even go as far as saying that I really did enjoy the remakes, the 1, 2, and 3. Now, this might be a hot take for some. 7, 8, and 9. Nope. Big bag of nope. Me personally, I was not a fan of 7, 8, and 9. The reason being is 7 was literally almost a shot for shot remake of 4. Um, Let me think. 8 was again, had the whole political angle, the whole elite planet and all that stuff. Not so big into that one. And then the last one there, 9, was just like, what can we do to right the ship kind of thing. And it's what the movies should have been from the very beginning. What I also didn't care for about it was that the character Rey was just so unbelievably overpoweringly strong right off the gate, right off the bat. And it just didn't sit right. She had no formal training, no nothing, and she's already, kicking the crap out of Kylo Ren, right off the jump. Right off the jump. Gets into a battle with him and defeats him. Like, that to me is just, no. No, no, no. Like, you had it where, like, Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker got into a fight, and he had been trained and all this stuff. Wasn't a lot, but it was, enough to get him used to the Force and how to do saber battling and stuff like that. And he still got his butt kicked by Darth Vader. Had his whole hand cut off. And you're telling me this person with no experience whatsoever? Get out of there. No, no. Sorry. Not a fan. Wasn't crazy about it. Let's see. Jody says, I tried precision farming again, and it just comes too much for me, and it drives me crazy. Want to try to do, but it's too hard. I hear you there, bud. It's one of those where you've got to just sit back, be patient, and just try like one thing at a time. As you try one thing, just kind of, slowly learn it, read about it, like I said, it's one of those that precision farming is so intense and it has so much to do that I've considered several times actually creating like a tutorial or like a kind of a walkthrough as to the things that you need to do, things you need to look out for, and all that stuff. And I mean, and I keep hesitating on doing it. One, because it's been out for so incredibly long. It's been out forever, the whole precision farming. So it's one of those that there's already kind of, that drum's already been beat kind of situation. But then at the same time, it's one of those where I don't know. It just, like I said, I just don't think that would be kind of a good thing, just because it's so far removed from when it first came out and whatnot. I don't know. I keep kind of humming and hawing, going back and forth on it. And then Jody also says, let's see, where did I leave off? Hard to believe Toby Keith passed away. Oh my goodness, I know, right? I was really, really bummed to hear that Toby died. it was one of those that it didn't hit me right away, when I heard that he passed. But then it dawned on me. It's like, wow, that was my mom's like favorite artist when I was really young. She used to love listening to Toby Keith, and used to listen to him on the radio all the time. And it was one of those. It kind of dawned on me that after I'd heard it, that I was like, wow, you know what? I hadn't heard anything from Toby Keith in a long time. Like it just kind of hit me that, wow, like he kind of fell off my radar, kind of thing. So yeah, I was really sad. It got me thinking of like my mother, and how she absolutely loved listening to his music and loved kind of you know the whole kind of genre uh, that he was a part of. The very, especially around shortly after 9/11, when he came out with the very patriotic songs that he came out with, and really just his songs in general. Like she just absolutely loved him, and because of her, I really really liked him as well. And yeah, it's definitely the end of an era kind of thing, and that's really really sad, really really sad. Jody says, I want to be real good at the game, but you and other people, I get frustrated sometimes when I don't get good at it. I hear you there, bud. I absolutely hear you, because it's what it all boils down to with precision farming is it's all about timing. Just learning what the timing is from one thing to another. Now, I've said this before. One thing that I really like about precision farming is that it forces me to use equipment that I normally would never use, like the slurry spreader or a manure spreader. I would normally never use either one of those devices for farming, and you can get away with not using it. Really, if you're using like the base game kind of model, and the two-state fertilizer solutions, some maps 3 states, what you can do is you can get away with just putting down your first layer of fertilizer, then put a layer of lime, and then fertilize, and you're like boom boom boom. You could do it all in one afternoon kind of thing. Sorry, hiccup there. um so it's one of those where you can kind of just force your way through it. um but with precision farming, you have to be more tactful as to what the next step in the chain is. So after you prepare and after you harvest and do all that stuff, then you got to fertilize. You can optimize your fertilizing with the sensors and stuff like that for your tractors. You can also, like, there's just so many things that you have to remember. And I get it; it gets frustrating because it does get overwhelming. I always forget about these little. Oh, it's not on this one. It's on. Is it on the blue one? Yes, those little white sensors up there. You can have a more active sensor than these ones, because these only work during the daytime. But you can have those sensors in the front that will better utilize your consumption of material, such as your fertilizer and stuff. So it's like I said, it's all just learning what the next thing is and how to maximize and utilize things. Once you learn it, like I say, it's just procedure. It's just procedure. What's the next step in the chain, and go from there, kind of thing. But I get it. I 100% get it, because it took me a while to really learn and figure it out for myself. And you can see I'm still I still only have a 64 environmental score. If I zoom in, you can see this one's really dragging me down because I created this one from scratch, kind of thing. So I don't have any nitrogen that's being scored, or the pH is halfway, the weed control is halfway, and all that's so far down because it updates on each harvest. So you'll see, like, this one was in like the 50s, I think this one was. The field that I'm on right now, and now it's in the 70s because I had nitrogen, I had lime. I haven't done any weed control just yet, and I don't need to do any weed control because I plowed. I got the soil sample, so that's full, and then tillage is halfway because I plowed when I didn't have to. So it's just one of those. I don't try. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't go for like a completionist score. Like, I don't try and get 100% environmental score. And as long as I'm above 50% and I'm not getting penalized for selling off product, then the way I see it is everything's gravy beyond that point. Everything's just, a bonus. So all in all, that's just kind of the way I look at it, and kind of helps me from getting too frustrated with any kind of mishaps or things like that. As long as I'm not, losing money by selling off product, then I'm okay. So we just need to kind of fill in these little spots here, and let me catch up with the chat here. Oops. Let's see, I'm reading and not... Oh, there we go. Let's get it from this angle. Perfect. All right, I got one more. We got... Jody says he left a great legacy and helped out a lot of people. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was really, really saddening to see, to see him go. And I know he was very active in the community, very... he just seemed like a very genuinely nice person, kind of thing. And it's, really sad to see, the legend that he was just kind of gone long before his time. That's the thing, though, is you can never guarantee or be promised tomorrow. So make sure that you're utilizing every second. Make sure that you're just, grabbing life by the horns and enjoying the ride, kind of thing. I learned that very much with the passing of my mother. I learned that, just every time that somebody close to me, has an event in their life, it's just, wow, it just reinforces that, like, if there's something you want in life, figure out how to do it. Figure out how to get it, because it's one of those that, to quote Wayne Gretzky, you miss all the shots that you never take, kind of thing. So, let's see. Let's see. We've got, hey, CavalierRoy, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Let's see. He says, PF after harvesting a field, mulch, lime, direct seed, fertilize, roll. Use a weeder to remove the weeds, and finally run over your field with the herbicide sprayer. 100%. Yep, that is accurate. Jody says, how's your wife's pregnancy doing today? Doing absolutely good. Absolutely good. Absolutely great. She has been getting a bit more pressure. I think that the little one is actually sitting in a weird spot. Is a bit lower than what my wife was expecting, so she gets all the pressure from where she's sitting and gets uncomfortable. So trying to do my best as any husband can do, to try and make her comfortable, to do whatever I can around the house and whatnot to help out and to make her not have to do as much. But unfortunately, too, she's very active, so she always wants to run around and do things and all that stuff, which also doesn't help out because she's not relaxing. She's just kind of exhausting herself. Ooh, I was paying more attention to talking again. So yeah, so she's just, doing as good as she can, and we're just taking it one day at a time. We heard nothing back from the high-risk doctor on Monday, so no news is good news. With IVF pregnancies, like what we're going through here, it is a higher percentage chance that there are, I don't want to call them abnormalities, but potential issues with the heart and things like that. So that's why we went in for that, is, one, because of our age, but two, because of the IVF. I guess they have a higher likelihood of developing holes in their heart. which most oftentimes they tell us, even if they found something or anything like that, that they tend to close up. They tend to be very, very small and oftentimes nothing to worry about. And worst case scenario, they were saying that there's the possibility of surgery or something like that when they're first born. But again, nothing to be, worried about. But we're not in either of those categories, because again, no news is good news. So everything is going good on those fronts. Let's see. Jody says hi, Cavalier, and Cavalier says hi to Jody. Jody says that's why you appreciate your family, because you don't know when your time comes. 100%. It's not just appreciate your family, just appreciate everything that you have. Hold on to it, hold on tight, and just be thankful, because like I said, you're not guaranteed a tomorrow. It could be anything. It could be any number of things. I had well, he technically wasn't my brother-in-law, but he was married to my sister-in-law, but he passed before I kind of got into the family, kind of thing. And he was in the Navy, and he ended up developing a really bad case of cancer because he was on the nuclear submarines, and he ended up going into the engine, like the reactor kind of thing, because something happened, and he basically didn't have time to suit up. So yeah, he got a very aggressive case of cancer because of it, and like I said, it's one of those things that you don't know. You don't know what's going to be thrown your way, kind of thing. So every second that you get, be happy, be thankful, because like I said, you're not guaranteed it. You're not, and you'll live a longer, happier life if you kind of come to that realization, that understanding that because it's not guaranteed, let me make the most of it. I know that sounds cliche, and I used to think this very same thing when I was younger, that, I don't know, it's that kind of young, almost, I don't want to say God complex, but you just feel like you're untouchable when you're younger. But eventually you get to an age where you start to realize, like, okay, I'm starting to get closer to the other side of the curve rather than on the front side of it. So, you eventually start changing your mindset and your mentality. And like I said, me personally, I try and be thankful for everything that I have, for everything that's been, given to me, that I've gotten in my lifetime. And I think, me personally, I'm happier for it. I'm happier for it, and far more appreciative of those little things that come my way, that I've worked towards, or that have just come to me and fallen into my lap, kind of thing. Um, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Roy says, my parents always used to say, never go to sleep on an argument because anything could happen, and nothing worse than feeling. Yes. Oh my goodness, yes. Um, that's something that my wife and I practice all the time when it comes to when we get into an argument or a disagreement. Um, is that we don't try and resolve it right away, kind of thing, because there are times where you just are too upset and too much kind of into your own head, where you're just not going to hear what the other person's telling you. So it's fine to take some time, to kind of recoup, regather your thoughts, but don't like don't just leave it. Don't leave it to the next day. Don't leave it until, whenever, it's convenient, kind of thing, because one, it's always going to be there. And you're right. There's nothing worse than feeling like you left something off on the wrong note. And then if you don't have the ability to say anything, or to if you, heaven forbid, that you say something that you regret, even in the moment, kind of thing, and then something happens where you can't take it back, there's nothing you can do about it. You know, that's why, like I said, just be thankful. Like Roy said, you know, don't go to bed angry. Don't carry over fights. You know, it may be hard, it may be difficult to uh, address them at the moment, kind of thing. And if that's the case, like I said, take a break, but don't break it off for like the night. Don't sleep mad, anything like that, because it you're right. You're not guaranteed the tomorrow, like I said. So it's rough. It can be. Roy says, all good, thanks. One of those nights where I can't switch off. But I'm sorry to hear that. But hey, I'm thankful that you're here. Like I said, hopefully we can at least keep you a little bit entertained in the meantime and kind of go from there. Hope all is good on your end. It is absolutely fantastic. Having a fantastic day. As I mentioned earlier before you came on, we just gave out our first moderator position to Jody there. As you can see, he's got that nice pretty blue wrench. Absolutely love it. Again, Jody, thank you so much for accepting to be the moderator for, or being a moderator for the channel. Jody's been an amazing friend to the channel, and I couldn't be happier and honored for him to pick up these duties. And I'm running into stuff. Oh wow, so we got only 2 pallets so far. That's not producing as much as I thought it would, but that's all right. I know those are... Uh-oh. What just happened there? What just happened? Stream's looking good. Sorry, just something happened to the stream where all of a sudden everything just got kicked off. Chat disconnected. Let me know in the chat if you all can still hear me, if everything's looking good on your end, because something just happened on mine. So, not sure. Not sure. Let's see. Jody says, Taraho, she feels good, and I hope everything is going good with the baby. Do you know? Yes, so we do know it is a girl. So that's the kind of the cool thing about doing IVF like we've done. You have the option to be able to like know the gender before they're actually even inside the womb, kind of thing. So we ended up doing that. We ended up finding out we could have done the more traditional route where we waited until what is it, like 10 weeks, 16 weeks, somewhere in that ballpark. I don't remember. We could have done that, but one of those that my wife and I are not very we're very patient with certain things. That one we felt that we weren't going to be able to be patient enough, so we decided that we would go ahead and figure that out. So we knew the sex of our babies before they were actually implanted. So that's it's very cool because it makes planning things a lot easier. Like when we did the baby shower and all that stuff for our first daughter, it made it very, very easy to kind of gather things up. We knew well in advance, so we could just kind of buy things as we went. It didn't have to be like all like a slam charge right up front kind of thing when we did the baby shower and all that, or I'm sorry, not the shower, but the reveal. So yeah, it was just fun knowing kind of thing. Let's see. Jody says my brother was born with a hole. Yeah, so you know exactly what I'm talking about there. I mean, it's one of those where most oftentimes it's just worst case scenario, some corrective surgery, and it's all good from there kind of thing. but it's I guess it's more prominent in the IVF babies, so that's why they're and are because of our age, like I said, where they make us go to the high risk doctor. No, last visit was our last visit to them. Now we're just back to the normal OB, and we just kind of go from there. It's just a matter of sitting back and waiting. So we're excited. We're very happy, with baby number 2 on the way, and just kind of going from there. And baby number 1, she's really starting to get into that terrible 2 phase, quote unquote. She's starting to, especially at night, she's starting to get like she gets really tired, so she just gets very like hitty. She just started doing this like yesterday, where if we're getting ready to kind of go through the routine of putting her down for sleep, she'll start like smacking at us to get us to hurry, I think is what she's doing. So we're working our way through that. We're doing the whole nice touches and all that stuff, but it's something I'm sure every child goes through when they're that age. Just gotta stay strong and keep trying to correct them, lead them, and hopefully they go good from there. Jody says, having a real good time, buddy. Awesome. Roy says, awesome. That's good to hear. Congrats, Jody. All working all right. Oh, perfect. Glad to hear it. Yes. I don't know what happened. It just kind of like flashed and said it disconnected and just came right back. I even see it in the analytics right now, where it just kind of, was holding steady and then crash and then comes back. So not quite sure what happened there. But like I said, I've been having some issues with our internet for some reason. So my brother-in-law, he ended up coming into town, and he went to try and hook up his computer to our internet, his computer and his phone. And for some reason, and anybody who knows anything about networking and stuff like that will know exactly what I'm talking about, but it was assigning an IP address that was outside of the acceptable range. So normal internets start out with an IP address of 192.165, at least around here they do. But for some reason, it was assigning his phone and his computer with a 169 dot some kind of weird address. And it was like the dynamic. It's called dynamic something. It's a DCHP, dynamic something. I can't remember what it's called. It was like something was broken, and I have a very unique setup on my end, to where I've got 3 additional wireless routers that are piggybacking off the main router, and I have them set up specifically as access points on the network. And my one IT buddy, he comes over to our place and cringes every time he sees those things. It drives him absolutely nuts. And he's told me, like, why don't you get a mesh? And it's like, well, because the mesh doesn't work for what I need. A mesh works great when you're trying to go from one end of your house to the other kind of thing. But my situation is that we have the main house, and then I wanted internet out in the garage, and the main internet doesn't reach the garage. And then beyond that, my father also lives on the property, on the back side of the property, and he wants internet too. So need to kind of, I basically piggyback all the internet off of our main router, and it just goes out towards, his place until it gets to a router that's close enough for him to pick up the signal, kind of thing. So kind of a hodgepodge of nonsense, but it worked for a while. Not right now. I mean, it's the main house is working, but what we're having an issue with now is everything downstream. That's where it seems to be having the issues. So not quite sure what to do about it. I'm gonna be doing more research and trying to figure out, but I think the biggest thing is that they're really old Wi-Fi routers, like really old, and I think I need to get new ones, is what it's all going to boil down to. It's just, I don't have the money for it right now to be able to buy the routers. So I just gotta figure it out. But what I'm hoping is that those routers aren't interfering with my main router. Like I said, I've got them set up as access points, so they shouldn't be trying to use their own DCHPs to try and assign IP addresses, to other devices, kind of thing. They should just kind of be, well, access points. They just allow you a connection point to the internet, kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. Didn't really get a chance to do too much digging into it tonight, as I had already set up the live stream, and it's like, nope, I'm only going to put in, this much effort, and then after like 8:30, I'm going to be like, okay, as long as we get it to a point of stability, and unfortunately, I didn't get it to that point. So unfortunately, my dad's having to use his hotspot in order to have access to the internet tonight. So it is what it is. But I had already set up the live stream and told him I'm sorry, but I can't back out of it now. It's all set. But I'll look at it in the morning. So he's fine with it. It's not a big deal. Yeah, look at this. We are on our, what is this? This is our third grass field and fourth field overall. And now let's fire the worker up and let me catch up with the chat. So we've got Jody says, being a moderator is really I really appreciate it. Hey bud, like I said, you are a real good friend of the channel. You're here constantly hanging out on the live streams, and just like I said, I trust you to do this. Like I said, I greatly appreciate you. Let's see. Jody says, play some Farming Simulator. I have some real good fun. Yes, 100%. Farming Sim, love this game. Love this game. And then Jody says, yes, I can still hear you. Okay, good. Is it good to put lime on your field? So in this particular case, it is because again, I'm using precision farming. You can see that the pH value, which is your lime, is set at good right now. It's at a 6.375 out of what should be a 6.5. So what I'm doing here is with, hello, with the lime, if I come over to this side now, I'm just getting it back to that kind of, my controller's starting to drift. I'm just getting it back to that 6.5 where it needs to be, and now it says perfect. You can see the nitrogen, that's your fertilizer, is at 0, and it needs to be at 55 for the product I have, which is grass here. And you can also see how those things are affecting my yield. So right now I'm at an expected yield of 92%. That's weird. Oh, it's because I have some nitrogen in the ground, so that's okay. So that's giving me a higher percentage overall. That makes sense. So yeah, you can see how as I scoot over here, my nitrogen is kind of going up a little bit. Now it's going down. Do I have it anywhere where it's not, or it's at 0? Yeah, no. Nope. So yeah, it's just one of those that we're going to have to, as we get those values on perfect, we're going to have a higher expected yield. We're not going to have a perfect expected yield compared to our potential yield because we're not rolling, and that rolling gives you, I think, like 1 or 2% extra towards your yield potential kind of thing. But that's all hinged on us being in a field where those values are actually affecting anything. We're doing liming and fertilizing here in the cow field, the sheep field, and the horse field because of the precision farming and wanting to maintain and keep the high scores. If we weren't doing any of this, then our scores would just be plummeting and drag everything else down. So we do this only for these scores, because it doesn't. And Roy, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember right, you'd mentioned that because these are pastures, they're not actually affecting the amount of yield that you get out of them. It's just kind of a default because of the pasture itself. So this would normally, if we were in a normal field, normal grass field, these yields would actually affect the outcome and the amount of product you get out of your field, kind of thing. Let's see. We've got nobody ever puts trust in me ever before. Oh, you know what, bud? I don't know why. Like I said, you've been a really great friend of the channel, great friend of me personally, and like I said, it's one of those that I just greatly, greatly appreciate you always being there, being on these streams, um, doing all the outreach that you do for the comments and the various different social medias and stuff. Like I said, a lot of people don't really understand that all the engagement, all that stuff, it really does help. It really does. It gets you out in front of more people, and helps the algorithms and stuff like that. So like the more engagement and stuff like that you can get, for like YouTube purposes and really any kind of social media. I did miss that little chunk right there. The better overall it does for the channel. So like I said, that's all the YouTube side. But then just the amazing conversations that we had, the kind of back and forth on the comments and all that stuff, it's been fantastic. Like I said, that's the one thing I never realized that I would get out of starting this channel, is having such amazing conversations with such amazing people. So it's absolutely 100% something I never expected, and one of the coolest unintended benefits of setting up this channel is being able to reach out and interact with great people like yourself, like Roy, like Dust Bunny, and just everybody else that I've come in contact along the way. J Meister, Hillbilly Farmer. Oh goodness, I'm gonna feel terrible because I know I'm gonna forget somebody. So yeah, like I said, it's one of those that greatly appreciate it. And again, it's a huge favor that you're doing for me, because like you mentioned earlier, we've developed a really nice, friendly, family friendly space here for the channel, and it's one of those where there's been incidences, and I'm not going to elaborate there tonight, but I explained it to you over our conversation, that there's been incidences where people have come in with not so nice words right off the bat, kind of thing, and because I sit here and I'll get entwined in what I'm saying, I don't always look at the messages right away. So that kind of stuff can sit and linger and, put myself in this channel at risk, kind of thing. And I don't want that. I don't want to, I certainly don't want to police what people are saying, but there's always, limits, that YouTube or any kind of platform is going to find acceptable, kind of thing. And if I don't take action because I'm too into what's being said at the moment, well, then it's still my fault that it's not being dealt with. So it's one of those that I just want to make sure that we start building up, trusted individuals that can, keep an eye on things for me while I'm sitting here and doing what it is that I need to do, kind of thing. So again, greatly appreciate you, greatly appreciate everything you've done, and again, really appreciate that you're willing to hop on and keep an eye out for me. So Like I said, you absolutely deserve it. You absolutely are a rock star when it comes to, being a friend and being a friend of the channel. Let's see. We've got Jody also says, I ain't had a friend in a long time, and this has helped my depression out so much to have a friend. Hey, bud. Like I said, it's one of those that you you're helping me out just as much. So this isn't a one-way street. So greatly appreciate you. I really, really genuinely do. Thank you so much. And I'm honored that I'm helping in any way. So really, really glad that it's helping out. Really, genuinely, I am. Let's see. So we're almost done with the liming here. Once we get done with the liming, then we're going to turn our sights onto the fertilizing. Now, should I? No. I was kind of humming and hawing on whether or not I was going to turn my sights onto the slurry. If I was going to just slurry down and put some of that as fertilizer. I don't think I'm going to do that. And the reason that is, yeah, I could, get a better environmental score because I'm not using as much actual fertilizer kind of deal. But one of those that in the end, I think it's going to be just quicker and better for me. Because you go through so much slurry, so much manure kind of stuff that it really just it's a real pit. It's a real pit when it comes to product. So one of those where I really want to just kind of do it and move on. And I think that this will kind of be better just to use my sprayer. And I can't really think of a time where I've gotten to really kind of turn that sprayer loose, like full bore kind of thing. I've used it before, but I think it'll be really nice to kind of... Or wait a minute. Do I have fertilizer in there, or do I have herbicide? Well, now I'm just going to have to figure it out, because... Oh, was that everything? I think that's everything. Looks like we missed a little in the field, but it's not picking up on the map. So if it's not picking up on the map, then we should be good to go. All right, let's tuck this away. Let's go get our sprayer, because I'm pretty sure it's got fertilizer in it. I haven't had to use it for her. All right, now I'm not sure. I don't think I've used it for herbicides, so one of those we'll see. And actually, I need to use my blue tractor too, because that's the only one with the actually, that's something we could add to all of our tractors. Why didn't I think of that? So what I'm kind of half saying here, after I just realized I'm kind of speaking in half sentences. Wait, nope, not this tractor. Need the blue one. With precision farming, easy. With precision farming, you need to have a Izeria. I think it's the Izeria Scouter. Hold please. What is it called? Well, it's one of these crop sensors, but the base game, there it is. Yeah, the Izeria Proactive. It's a sensor that better utilizes your product. You can have these little compact ones, but they only work during the daytime hours, which I don't do a whole lot of night farming because running a channel and whatnot, it's really better. Oh yeah, it does have fertilizer. Okay, nice. It's really better to have the daytime hours so everybody can see what you're doing. It's a little bit easier for people to follow along with the content if they know what you're working on. So one of those where getting the cheaper ones that go on top of the tractors themselves, it works out just fine. All right, so let's spray this down. Wait a minute. Wait. Nope. Reverse. Wooga. Warning. Danger, Will Robinson. There's no product here on the field. So I would just be putting product down just to put it down. So it's just going to go to its like maximum output. But if I go in here now, it'll adjust based on being in grass. There we go. Jump. So yeah, you can see how much lower the grass field was compared to the other one. The other field over there had it all the way into the green kind of thing. So I've been using like infinitely more product. So here, before we get going, let me catch up with the chat and see what everyone's saying so far. So we've got, let's see, Gold Gaming. Howdy, neighbors. Howdy, Gold Gaming. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. And Jody said, and I just realized I skipped it, got PSD. When playing games, I'm having a friend in chat to help out so much. Hey, no problem, bud. Like I said, it's one of those that, having a friendship is a two-way street, and, hey, yay, bouncy, I'm stuck. What is why? What is going on? Ay, my boom is having conniptions. What? What are you doing? Oh my goodness. I don't know what it was doing there. Do a little dance. Oh my goodness. So maybe it's the type of sprayer that I have, because it is the Hardy sprayer, but it's from a specific pack. I don't remember the Hardy sprayer from the base game, like having adjustable arms like this. So I'm, yay, what is going on here? This is a mod that allows me to do the John Deere sprayer system, the precision sprayer. Okay, I did get into that corner there. So one of those that that might be, come on, get away from the wall. There you go. I tell you what, if this was a real tractor, if this was real farming, I would just have one destroyed boom, and I'd just be doing like everything just with the left side of the boom. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. I tell you what. I must not instill too much confidence in people. It's like, oh hey, I'm gonna hop on and see what this what this BDD gaming's all about. See what is. Whoa, hey, hi, oh, hey, Stop it. No, hey, evil. What is happening here? Oh dear. Oh dear. So that was a thing. That was a thing. So I was starting to say, like, people are going to come out here and who's never seen the channel before. They're going to be like, oh, with BDD Gaming, let's check him out. So let's see if he's any good. And they're going to see this. They're going to see me. And they're like, oh, he might know a thing or two about things. Nope. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try not to make a total and complete hash of things. How about we actually act like we know what we're doing around here? Okay, time to hit that reset button. Boop. Reset button hit. We're gonna act professional. I know you all didn't see it, but I'm sitting there doing air quotes. We're not going to act professional. We're going to continue to do things how we do things and hope that we bring some smiles into the world. Hey, 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 hey. Now I feel like the crab from Nemo. Or not the, was it the crab from, yeah, it was the crabs from Finding Nemo. Hey, hey. Because it was the seagulls that was like, mine, mine. I tell you what, I can't wait for my daughter to get old enough to where she actually finds that movie funny and appreciates it. Uh that was a good one. Finding Nemo was good. Can't say that too much about a lot of the newer stuff that Disney and Pixar is putting out there lately, but that one was good. There we go. Now, yes, okay. Whew, we can let the worker do it while while we're jumping on here. Gold Gaming says, doing well, thank you. Hope the same for you. I'm having a fantastic day so far. Absolutely fantastic. Hey, Dust Bunny. Evening, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great evening. Hello, Big Daddy, Mr. Gold Gaming, Mr. CavalierRoy, and Mr. Jody. Dust Bunny, I'm so glad to see you. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Let's see. Gold Gaming says, setting up Elk Mountain and hanging out. Oh, awesome. Awesome. We got another PC player. Glad to hear it. Gold Gaming also says, hey, Dust. Dust. Whoa, hey. Just smacking buttons. Dust Bunny says, congratulations, Mr. Jody, on turning blue. That's awesome. How you doing, Dust Bunny, says Jody. And Dust Bunny says, I love Elk Mountain. I played a multiplayer on that. Wait, Elk Mountain. Is that a PC only? Question mark, question mark? Now I can't remember. Anyways, played a multiplayer on that with my son for a while. Gorgeous map. Jody says, I know how to make you laugh. Yes. That's why he says, I'm doing well, Mr. Jody. How are you doing and the family? That's why he says, Big Daddy, please say hello to the Mrs. T for me. Hope she's doing well with the pregnancy. And how is your dad doing, sir? So she is doing very well with the pregnancy. We actually had the high risk doctor I was saying earlier on Monday. That was the last appointment that we had with the high risk. And so far, no news is good news. Which is basically the tech that did the ultrasounds and all that stuff said that everything looked great from their end. So the doctor would review it and give us a call back. That should have been like Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest. It's now Thursday. We still haven't heard anything back from them. So based on what the tech said and based on not hearing anything at all, we're taking that as good news. So yeah, everything's going fantastic. Like I was saying earlier, though, my wife is experiencing a little extra pressure because of how the baby's sitting right now. So she's a bit more uncomfortable than... Ooh, easy there, AI. I know I smacked it around, but you don't need to be doing it too. Stop it. Stop it. Anyways. Because, yeah, the way the baby's sitting, she's feeling a little extra pressure than normal, and she's uncomfortable, but that is, kind of typical when it comes to pregnancy. Is it's not the most comfortable thing from what has been explained to me. So yeah, just going good, going very, very well. Let's see, we've got Jody says he's a real good friend. Dust Funny. Gold Gaming says yes, it is. Jody says, family is doing real good, and how about yours? Oh, and that's right, you asked about my father. He's doing fantastic. He's having some internet issues right now, unfortunately. We are having some internet issues here at the BDD household. As I explained earlier, we have a very unique setup because of the living situation, him being on the backside of the property. Us being on the front side of the property, we have kind of a weird daisy chain of things for our internet here. We have the main router, and unfortunately, the way that things work nowadays with Wi-Fi and all that stuff, a lot of ISPs, they don't tend to help you out when it comes to wanting multiple access points to your internet. They basically say, oh, well, you have wireless, deal with it. So unfortunately, not a whole lot we can do besides setting up access points and routers throughout the property, which is what we pretty much got going right now. And I think one or multiple of the access points have gone bad, so gonna have to replace them. But I don't have the funds for that at the moment, so gotta wait until we can kind of squirrel up enough to get that done. So that is one of those that I don't want to go cheap. The previous ones that I had, they were the cheapest routers that I could get my hands on at the time, and they lasted for a little bit, but always had issues with them. Always had to reestablish connections and all that stuff over the years. It was just not worth it. And I think that if I, not go the cheap route and whatnot, that I may be able to save myself some headaches and heartache. So that's kind of the thoughts and premise behind it. But we'll see how things kind of play out from here. And it would help if I could get off. There we go. Hey, tree. George of the jungle, watch out for that tree. That is. The boom's having spasms again. That's the kind of stream we're going to have tonight, folks. And I'm not even tired. For those who've been around the channel for a while, knows that Tired Dave is Goofy Dave. Well, guess what? Goofy Dave showed up early tonight. Here, let's not have a repeat of the trees trying to eat us. What was that? Oh, what was that movie? Help me out here, folks. What was that movie with, I think it was with Mark Wahlberg, where the plants were trying to end the human race? And basically they would release a spore or a toxin into the air that would make people basically try and self-delete themselves. What was that movie called? Was it The Happening? I think it was The Happening. I could be wrong about that. Anyways, good movie, by the way. If you're looking for a good movie, that is a good one. I do enjoy it. If you're into kind of, I wouldn't say it's a scary movie, because it's not but it's definitely kind of a mix of a scary and almost a psychological thriller. Because like I said, it's all based on the premise that the Earth has basically started to lash out at humanity for basically destroying the environment and all that. And the plants have basically evolved and have started to trigger a protective response of sorts, and it releases it was either like a neurotoxin or a specific pollen that would basically it would erase the human self-preservation function of the brain. It would basically override it, and that you would just immediately go out and try and harm yourself. Like I said, really good movie. Because it was just one of those that you never knew when it was coming, when it was going to happen, kind of thing. So it was just one of those, you were always on the edge of your seats, like, oh man, when's the next thing gonna happen? When, and it was just the silent, invisible. Uh, it was basically like modern environmentalism meets the Invisible Man, kind of thing. It was good. It was a good movie. Let's see. Where did I leave off in the chat? Jody says the family's doing real good. How about yours? Dust Bunny says my family is doing well, Mr. Jody. Thank you for asking. Jody also says this is a great. This is so great of a community here. Got awesome people come in. Tell your dad I said hi. Absolutely, will do that. That is a real good cartoon. And yes, that is the name of it. All right. Yes. Yes. Awesome. I am so glad. Because it's one of those that I sometimes will mix up movie titles and be like, oh, yeah, it's that movie. It's The Thing or whatever. And it's like, no, you're describing this movie. And it's like a 180-degree difference of what I was saying the name was. So when I actually get it right, I get really excited. It's like, yes, I remembered. High five. Oh, goodness. But yeah, good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. But yeah, I did enjoy that movie. There was another movie that came out roughly about the same time as that one. Um, that one was the one where the government opened up the interdimensional gateway kind of thing between them and another planet, and all these creatures just the mist. That's what it was called, the mist. That one was more of like a traditional horror movie kind of movie, and that one I really enjoyed because it had a very good element of human nature almost. Um, like, what would people do in a high stress, um, high tension environment kind of thing, and you kind of see the big kind of breakdown in the kind of the social fabric in that movie, because basically what the movie is all about is um, takes place in this small town. And what happens is that this father and son end up going to the local grocery store, and all of a sudden this mist just comes out from the mountains, from this little town. And in the mountains there's a government facility, um, and all of a sudden, like, people are like, okay, well, it's not a big deal, it's just a fog, whatever. Well, all of a sudden people are going outside of the store, and when they leave, all of a sudden people start hearing just screams in the mist, like just people just blood curdling screams kind of thing. And all of a sudden, like, one person comes running in, it's like, it took him, something took him from the mist. And like, people are just absolutely losing it kind of thing. And then they see, the blood and guts up on the walls and the glass and all that stuff. And they realize, oh, something's actually out there, something's happening kind of thing. And the people that are trapped in this grocery store, are then trying to kind of figure out what to do, how to get home, because at that time it's the father and son, and they want to get back to their house where the mother is. But obviously the father's there trying to protect his kid and trying to figure out what to do, while at the same time, like, all these kind of inner turmoils kind of start happening within the store. Like, people are just kind of freaking out, breaking down, and not really understanding how to proceed from there, because they're all in fear for their lives. And it's just one of those, like, I thought it was just a really good movie overall, and it did a really good kind of like psychological kind of aspect to it, because it's not only are you having to survive this high stress situation, but at the same time having to deal with this kind of I don't want to say lunacy, but the kind of human reactions from within the group kind of thing, and you see people start to create like in groups and out groups, um, and kind of certain, almost like a breakdown of a survival of the fittest kind of thing. But real good movie. Again, if you're into kind of horror genre movies, give it a look because it's a pretty good movie. And not like the stereotypical kind of slasher kind of movie either. It's like really has got some good stuff. Now I will say, warning to those who are very sensitive to certain materials. Um, it's got a very very heavy ending to it. I'm not gonna elaborate what the ending is, but it's one of those that not for the sensitive amongst us kind of thing. Um, and honestly, I'm not even sure if I could watch it nowadays, being a father. Wow, that just dawned on me that I haven't seen it since my daughter's been born, and now I'm kind of conflicted as because now I'm just remembering what the ending was. Oof. Ugh. Yeah. Brutal. Brutal. Oops. There we go. But yeah, if anybody out there has seen that movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about with that ending, and especially now being a parent. Oh man, that really just kind of sent a shiver down my spine. Anywho, like I said, I don't want to get too deep in details if you haven't seen it because it is a good movie and worth a watch. Let's see. Jody says, doing a lot of forestry tonight. I love the Dark Forest map. Yes, that is a good map. I do like that one. And really, I'm starting to start to grow an appreciation for forestry maps. Um, to whereas before I wasn't really crazy about them because again I don't consider myself that creative a person, like visually creative. It takes a lot of effort on my part to be kind of visually creative, and one of those where you really have to be visually creative when doing a forestry map because the whole premise is that you're starting with forestry and then building something from that forestry. So um, one of those where it wasn't my strong suit kind of thing, but I'm starting to grow towards the idea of doing more forestry work, like what we got going on here. All that was forestry across the street there, and we made a huge field out of it. Which, I mean, yeah, not the most creative thing in the world, but is going to be extremely practical and is going to be awesome for the farm, kind of thing. So ripping out all that forestry and stuff, it's one of these days. One of these days, I think we're gonna do like a start from scratch kind of series where it's going to be a lot of forestry work and stuff like that, and then eventually we're going to like build a farm and really put in the effort to uh, make something that's unique, that is like from scratch kind of thing. Hence, start from scratch. um, but yeah, it's one of those that I'm gonna have to kind of knuckle down and really kind of get over that and put in the effort kind of thing, because I think it is, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be that creative, but one of those where I think I'm my own worst critic when it comes to that kind of creative aspect. So it's just, I'll sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to place this right here. And then it's like, there's something about it I just don't like. And, one of those where I get in my own head kind of thing. To where I'm sure it's, perfectly fine. It's functional and all that stuff, but I just can't get out of my own way, kind of thing. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I think we're going to be doing a start from scratch. Maybe not the next series, but who knows? It might be. All right, we are almost all done with the fertilizing and the liming. We're getting there. We got one more field. Once we get through this field, we'll be able to rock and roll and move on to, I think we've got some harvesting contracts, actually. Look at that. We are doing real good. I'm really tickled pink with how this farm is turning out and how things are going. I mean, you figure we've got over $3 million. We're almost $4 million. I've not had a single Let's Play up until this point. This is the most amount of money I've ever had on any Let's Play series I've done up until this point. And I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm pretty tickled about it because, I honestly, I wasn't expecting the methane to do as well as it did. Wasn't expecting I was expecting the wood chips, the wood pellets. Those I was expecting to do really good. I was expecting the furniture to do really well. And I mean that furniture and those pellets. I mean, we made massive amounts of money on those. We'll check that out in just a second. Down here at money. And once we, let's see, get that there. We'll be good. There we go. Just need to check something out real quick. Oh yeah, cool. Good. There we go. Once we get the worker going, then I'll check out the money because, like I said, we made, yeah, look at that. $1.5 million is what we're up in this month alone. 1.5 million. And we had like a month or two ago where we had another $1 million month. So I mean, we're doing fantastic. Things are just working out so well. All right, there we go. Ta-da. So yeah, $1.5 million. I mean, you figure we already bought almost $1 million worth of vehicles too. So that's what, $2.5 million? Oh, well, there you go. Sold product, $2.46 million. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And all of it was furniture and pellets. I don't think we did methane. I don't think we did. Did we? No, I can't remember. But no, I mean, it just, yeah, we're set up really well right now. We've got money in our bank account. We've got plenty of things that we can be doing, and we've got a bunch of contracts that we need to work on. So that's what we're going to be doing here in a minute. So we're going to start working on some contracts. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat here real quick. Let's see. Jody says, love the natural disaster movies. That are some of my favorites. Oh yeah, I love them too. I was mentioning the other day the movie Greenland with Gerard Butler and the one lady from the show Firefly. She played the what was her name? I cannot remember her name. Anyways, not important. Greenland, it basically was about the world-ending comets that were gonna hit the Earth, kind of thing. And Gerard Butler plays like a really high-end architect, and the governments are basically saving very specific people to basically live and repopulate the world, kind of thing, after all of humanity is basically wiped out. And the government basically made these giant ships that can withstand the impacts from these asteroids. Well, turns out that Gerard Butler and his wife have a kid, and the kid has like like, I think he had like asthma or something, and the government wouldn't let them bring him along, kind of thing, because that was one of the things, is that you weren't allowed to have any health anomalies or anything like that. Like I said, I think he had asthma, or I think it was asthma. Anyways, and they wouldn't allow him to bring their kid with them, kind of thing. So they basically said, well, you can leave the kid, or you can, stay here, kind of thing, and then just not live beyond tomorrow, kind of thing. And the mother and father obviously are like, no, we're not leaving our son behind, kind of thing. Are you crazy? And they're like, okay, well, have fun. And yeah, so they were sitting there trying to like fight and survive, trying to figure out what to do. And again, it's one of those, it has a really deep psychological element to it, because there's scenes where people are starting to realize that humanity is coming to an end, as they know it, and that many people are going to be gone, and people are just basically doing like the worst of the worst and trying to survive themselves while doing the worst of the worst. Okay, we are all done with the farm. Let's see, let's just double check. Yeah, that's looking good. That's looking good. We still have to fertilize this, but our seeder has fertilizer for it, so we can just use that. Pretty sure it has. Yeah, solid fertilizer. So once we plant something in that field, we'll be good to go to fertilize at that same time. So now let's go ahead. You know what? We could use more barley. Let's see, field 50 with barley. So we can always use more for our chickens. And 110. 115. There we go. Wow, that's a lot of equipment. All right, well, this is for field 50, so... nope, that's not what I meant to do. Field 50, okay, so... Ooh, that's way up there. Okay, well... We got a bit of a journey. There we go. Tell you what, one of my favorite features, and it seems so little, the auto-snapping trailers. That auto-snap is by far and away one of my favorite features that came to FS22. I could not tell you just how frustrated I would get all the time whenever I had to transport the headers and stuff around in FS19. Oh my goodness, I hated using the trailers. I would purposely like basically field hop, from place to place, because I didn't want to have to deal with the trailers. I would always, bump into something, or I'd turn too sharp, and I would just have my header just fly out into the street, and then I would have to sit there for 20 minutes trying to deal with it, trying to get it all up and running again. And then the worst part about it is that you're of course, because I have traffic on and stuff like that, I'm sitting there having to deal with and fight with traffic, trying to get my equipment out there. And if you get in their way, they don't move. Like, they won't move out of your way whatsoever. So you have to sit there and like get your equipment in just a certain way. I can't tell you the number of times I would get like literally pinned in between cars, because they pull up on the scene of my accident and I can't go or do anything from there, kind of thing. I'm just kind of trapped, and I had to reset my equipment and start all over again. It was just such a nightmare. Let's see, so we need to, where's 50 again? All right, just south of that farm there in the west. So we'll get over to that, and then we'll kind of go from there. Let's see. Oh, hey, easy. Bob and weave. There we go. Let's see. Jody says $40,000 off a contract on Alma. Ooh, nice. That's a good contract right there. Love the movie Dante's Peak. That is a really good movie, Jody. Yes. Dante's Peak was a good one. 2012 was another real good one. I enjoyed 2012 with John Cusack. What else? What else is a really good movie? How do I get into this field? Oh, right there. That's how I get into it. Like I said, it's one of those that I sit here and I just scratch my head as to how I would get this set of equipment into the field. Like, if I was trying this like in real life kind of thing. Now I understand I could pull in here with the trailer with a tractor or something and then kind of line it up with this. I mean, that tree being right there where it's at, like if I owned this field in real life, that tree would be gone. Just gone. But yeah, Dante's Peak, that was a really good movie. 2012 was another good one. Like I said, Greenland, if you haven't seen Greenland, check that one out. That was really good. But like I said, it was a really tough one. I watched that when I was only, and I just bumped the microphone, only a few weeks into being a parent. And that one hit me like a ton of bricks. Like that hit hard. Like Mack truck hard. Because you're just, especially as a father, you know, I'm sitting there, because I take the duty of, you know, being the protector very serious, in my household kind of thing. And one of those, like, where would you even start in a situation like that if you weren't one of the people that was blessed into, you know, being allowed on one of those ships, or if you were given the choice of, well, you can be on the ship but your kid can't, you know, how do you proceed? Well, the obvious choice for any parent is, well, no, I'm not going to leave my kid behind kind of thing. That's not even an option kind of thing, you know. But how do you survive? How do you go forward? What do you do kind of thing? So it's one of those, like, I was putting myself in the main character Gerard Butler's shoe, or in his shoes, and sitting there is like, whoa, you know, how would I protect this little angel that's, you know, at the time she, you know, literally fit in one arm. You know, how do you go about protecting that? Like, how do you do any of that? You know, it's just, like I said, hit really, really hard kind of thing. So one of those where at the end of the day, very good movie, would highly recommend it. But don't do what I did and try putting yourself in the main character's shoes, because wow, did that mess with me for a while. That was really tough. That was really tough. And a lot of that's because I get into my own head. Like I said, I'll sit there and, like, imagine scenarios and stuff like, oh man, what do I do with this? What do I do with that? You know, and a lot of that has to do with trying to make myself more situationally aware. You know, if I sit there and have scenarios kind of in my head, you know, it then makes me more active and aware, you know, when I'm actually out and about in public kind of thing. And I notice a lot of things that many people don't, like the average person, you know, like, just is completely oblivious to. You know, for example, the other day I was out at the store with my wife and daughter, and somebody come in there, and Florida being a recent constitutional carry state, I noticed that somebody had a bulge in their pants pocket, um, and it was very obvious what that bulge was, kind of thing. So it's like, okay, well, and here's the thing: is, that doesn't bother me. Like, that kind of situation doesn't bother me, but I noticed it. So I sat there and pointed out to my wife, which probably wasn't the smart thing to do in hindsight, but pointed out to her and it's like, hey, they're carrying, kind of thing. Just kind of be on the lookout, kind of thing. And she immediately was like, oh, well, should we leave? It's like, no, it's, they're allowed to do that, kind of thing. And they're probably just here picking up their groceries. It's not a big deal, kind of thing. So, one of those where it's good to be situationally aware, but it's a skill that you have to kind of pay attention to. And it comes a lot easier to those who are very observant, of their, not only of their surroundings, but just of the details. Like I said, whenever I look at maps and do tours and stuff like that, the thing that I notice first are those little details, those things that don't have to necessarily be in a map to make the map, but are in it because, it's a detail, kind of thing. And the map makers, detail oriented to a certain degree. I need to kind of let's just go into the field. There we go. Now we'll grab our trailer. Let's see. Night of the Twisters movies. Yeah, Twister was a good movie. That was a good movie. What was his name? Was it Bill Paxton? No, it wasn't Bill Paxton, was it? Ooh, another good one, Independence Day. That was a good movie with Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum. That was a good one. Yeah, I love me some disaster movies. Absolutely love them. Because, like I said, what I tend to like about disaster movies is, in particular, is that kind of when the creators kind of dive into the kind of psychological aspects of things, like how would people legitimately react. Like, you get some kind of catastrophe or huge event that happens, whether it's a local scale, global scale, whatever it is. And oftentimes you're going to have people that are going to be, they're going to be able to keep their thinking together, their rational kind of senses together. But then you're going to have other people who are just, and this is going to be the majority of people, who are just lost. They have no idea what to do, nowhere to go. They're helpless at that point. And then with that group of people, you get one of a couple of reactions. Either they just kind of curl up in a ball and just wait for the inevitable. They start lashing out, becoming violent at anyone or anything around them, kind of thing. Or they kind of get the whole gangland territory where they're just like, okay, well, this is a opportunity for me to increase my power, my hold on things in society, kind of thing. Those are the three general kind of outcomes you'll see with human nature, kind of thing. And like I said, when I see filmmakers and whatnot, when they kind of touch on that as a kind of part of their disaster, it always captures my interest. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm driving past it. There we go. And then let's empty this out. Let's see. And Jody says, Love doing fast farming, absolutely. Yeah, whenever I get a chance to do fast farming, I tend to take it up, because one of those where anything to save time, kind of thing. If I'm able to save time, then it's awesome. But I tend to save those more for like behind the scenes or the live streams, like what we do here. I tend not to do them like in the actual episodics. And then Jody says, no, John Schneider was in the movie. Oh, John Schneider. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Movie was in Dukes of Hazzard. Yep, you're right. Yep, absolutely right. Absolutely right. All right. Now, let's do this. Let's disconnect from this trailer. We'll move the header trailer. We'll move that across the street. I tell you what, I knew that this was a map that I would not be able to start using crop destruction on. Could you imagine if I had crop destruction on this? Oof. Just oof. Would not be pretty. Would not be pretty whatsoever. Alright, let's go ahead and connect back up with this. And then let's continue harvesting. Once I get to a point where I can actually set the worker off, we'll start on the next field and then just kind of work our way down, kind of thing. Go ahead and take a drink real quick. Let's see. So yeah, I think it'll be good to do at least one more headland, and then I'll be able to kind of work it out from there, because I want to make sure I'm given the... What am I hearing? What is that? Oh. Okay, I know what it is. Sorry about that. I've got headphones on that's playing the audio from the game into my ears, and every once in a while I can hear a noise or something outside, and turns out that there's somebody with a crotch rocket motorcycle. Must have been opening up all the taps or whatever, because I could hear them over the headphones. One of those that when we move, when we buy our next house, and hopefully I can get a place where I can set up a kind of man cave-esque, where it's like my recording area and gaming and all that stuff, kind of separate, little dad zone. Man can dream, can he? It'd be nice to be able to do a little bit better in soundproofing, but also if my wife and I get our way, that if and when we do move, be one of those that we are on a little bit of property, and not right next to any main thoroughfares and all that stuff, to where we're not going to have to worry about people driving by and racing up and down the streets, or hitting the loud boombox audios and all that stuff. Again, man can dream, can he? That's why we're working hard. That's why we're working hard and trying to make things happen. Maybe one day. Maybe one day, if we work hard enough and keep our nose to the grind, we'll be able to come away with something. We'll see. We'll see. Jody says, "What's my wife's favorite movie?" Her favorite movie, Oh my goodness, it's a movie. Why I always space on what the name is called. Um, oh my goodness. All the time, all the time. I know what movie it is. I can see the cover, like like in my brain. I can see the cover. IMDb. It's with the one girl from Pirates of the Caribbean. The main was that Kate Winslet? Was that what her name was? All right, you know what? IMDb, don't fail me now. Let's see, Pirates of the. Was it Kate? Oh, Keira Knightley. Keira Knightley. It has her in it, but Pride and Prejudice. There we go. That's the movie. I can always see the cover of the movie. I always can see it. I can never remember the movie title. That is her favorite movie. It's like it's one of those movies for her that typically once a year I will come around, you know, if she's laying in the bedroom or something like that, especially at night, you know, I'll go into the back and there she'll have it just popped up on the screen. It's like, it's that time of year, eh? So we'll yeah, that's her go-to. What's your favorite harvester in game? I don't. All right, so I'll put it to you like this. I don't have like a harvester that is like my favorite because of its brand or anything like that. But I tend to work off of categories. And what I mean by that is, what is the harvester I can get for the cheapest? What's the harvester I can get for with the most horsepower? What's the most power to cost ratio? You know, all that kind of stuff. Like I have these different kind of categories, and they're all kind of built up in my brain. And one of my favorite harvesters that is based on those categories would be these ones, the Kloss Dominators. They got the 105 and the 85, specifically the 105 here. It's a 6,500 liter harvester, but it's only $36,000. It's the perfect starting harvester because you get 6,500 liters, so it's got a decent capacity, but it's also dirt cheap, and it's 180 horsepower, so it works out very nice. But if I were to be like, okay, well, if money's not an issue and I'm looking for something like that, then gotta go with the Colossus. Colossus is one of the best harvesters, best mod packs, full set and stop, in my opinion. And it's because of the high capacity, high horsepower, high working speed, unrealistic capacities, the whole 9 yards. Like all that, perfect. Absolute money. Love it. Now, if we're talking like based on like money and size kind of thing, so if if I'm not looking for the cheapest or I'm not looking for the most kind of ridiculous, then these ones here, these case axle flows, are by far one of my favorites because it's kind of the best of both worlds. For $70,000, you get the four-wheel drive version, and you can have over 12,000 liters worth of capacity and 305 horsepower. So you can have a pretty good size header on this as well. So you get good capacity, good price. You figure 12,000 liter capacity is right here. 12,000 liter capacity and over $350,000 cheaper than the Fendt or the Massey or the Kloss. I mean, yeah, that's pretty nice. And again, if we do, yeah, this is the bigger capacity here, $400,000 as opposed to $60 for the same storage capacity. I mean, it's perfect. I love it. Absolutely love it. Jody says, love the Colossus Harvester. Yes, the Colossus pack just in general is an amazing pack. An amazing pack. I can't remember who the maker is off the top of my head, but it's one of those that if if you're looking for a harvesting set that has a wide range of, let me just see. Yes, has a wide range of ability, and what I mean by ability is, you can pretty much do real farming, fast farming, high capacity farming, whatever you want. Like it can pretty much do anything that any player wants to do, and it's just amazing. It's awesome. Come on, you got this. There we go. Just wanted to get out of the way so it wasn't in the crosshairs of that combine. Now, oh, get the big case. This one's for 110, which is, okay, down there. But yeah, I mean, the Colossus pack is awesome. But one pack that was released here recently that I absolutely adore, even more than the Harvester pack for its categories, is, let's see, where was it? I think it was here under Beat Technology. Yeah, here it is. The Pterodos. This one here, absolutely love this one, because not only can you do the basics, the potatoes and sugar beets, but you can also do carrots, red beets, and parsnips from the premium expansion. But you can also do sugarcane and cotton. And cotton especially is amazing. Why is that? Because $200,000 for the harvester plus like 10 grand for the header, I think. Depending on, and you get different styles of headers. You can have a normal header with normal working speed, one with double the working speed, and one with a ridiculous 62 mile an hour working speed. And it's like that for each one of the products. It's amazing, amazing. But what's awesome about this is that because you also get this ridiculous capacity, you don't need to make bales. You don't need to do anything like that. You can just load it right into the Pterodos. This thing is just fantastic. Love this mod. Definitely one of my favorites. And hence the reason why, yes, that was a thing. Anyways, yeah, love that mod. It's an amazing set, and super cheap. And the reason I like it, especially for cotton, is because, like, the cheapest cotton harvester we have access to, like, $800,000 for the base game harvester. Like, even the Colossus pack, which again is an amazing pack, and I do love it, is still over $100,000 more expensive than the Pterodos. Like, look at that, $376,000 compared to $200,000 base for the Pterodos. I mean, that's incredible. That's a huge savings right off the bat there. 170 grand, just boom, just like that. So yeah, that is definitely up there when it comes to harvesters. Let's see. Oops. Jody says, I love mods like that. It makes it easier to play the game. 100%. And that's what I especially love about this year as compared to, like, back in 2019. FS19 was great when it came to mods. But Giants was far less willing and far more strict on the mods, as they had to be more realistic in nature, to where I feel like they really kind of opened up the floodgates in FS22 and really allowed people to explore that unrealistic side of things. Where is the entrance? It's back here? Oh, there it is. I found it. But Giants ended up like opening the floodgates this year. They really allowed people to, like, really kind of test the boundaries. with their mods and stuff. Whereas I feel like last iteration, the FS19, it was really just for lack of a better word, because I can't think of one better off the top of my head, but boring. And boring is a very bad word. Like, I don't mean it like in that kind of sense, but just kind of they didn't allow people to do this. Like, they didn't allow them to really kind of create and, you know, make ridiculous things. And I remember, I think it was TNT modding actually got punished with was it Bucks County, I think? Oops. I don't need to make a swath, but why not? But I think it was all the unrealistic mods that they ended up putting into that map. Or no, was it Eureka? Was it Eureka Farms? To where a lot of their maps got pulled in FS19 after Giants discovered that they had all these mods that were just kind of the unrealistic versions of things, and they had to end up removing them. And if I remember how it went properly, they ended up putting out on like Facebook and all sorts of different platforms like, hey, if you don't want to lose all the unrealistic stuff, do not update. And I remember it was one of the first times I can remember seeing a map maker say, don't update. And I just felt like wow, that's really bad when the map maker is coming out and saying, hey, don't do this, you know, don't do a thing, don't make sure you're not on the latest and greatest kind of thing. Like, normally you get map makers out there who will put out an update and they'll be like, hey, you know, the new update came out, you know, check it out, and, you know, they'll let you know if it's save game compatible, and like, that's about the biggest extent that a map maker under normal circumstances would be like, hey, you know, you might not want to update this because this is going to happen kind of thing. Not a flat out, hey, don't update because you'll lose on all the cool stuff. I think it was Eureka Farms. It might have been Bucks County. I can't remember off the top of my head. Let's see. Jody says that's a good harvester to do carrots and other root crops. Absolutely. Now, don't get me wrong. The carrots, parsnips, and red beets, the harvesters that we got for them are okay, but they add a lot of extra steps. And those extra steps are fairly unnecessary, especially now that we've got all these mods that are coming out that allows us to really do everything in one pass kind of thing. Like the Pterodos there allows you to cut the heads off and go ahead and just harvest them from the ground. It's amazing. But to where the normal mods or the normal harvesting equipment for those particular types, you know, you've got to load them into boxes, or you got to have a trailer beside them constantly, so you're always having to drive tandem. You have to, I mean, it's just so much like extra kind of thing. And to where, yeah, that might be more realistic, might be more, you know, simulator-y, if that's not a word. But one of those where it just oh goodness, I lost my train of thought. Oh goodness, what just happened there? I'm getting really bad about that. That's actually starting to worry me. I'll start trailing off and lose where I was. I am getting old. Let's see. Jody says it was Bucks County. Okay, I thought it was Bucks County. I couldn't remember if it was Bucks or Eureka or one of the many maps that TNT put out that had those kind of ridiculous additions to them. But I do like the compromise that we get nowadays, to where it's kind of if you're going to do an unrealistic version, then you also have to make it to where it can be realistic, kind of thing. And I think that's kind of a nice trade-off. Now, it might mean that there's more work for the modders and stuff like that, but one of those that I don't know if they would mind too terribly much because of what it brings to the game. And I feel like that's a kind of a small detail and a small ask for Giants to have. Be like, hey, you know, if you're going to make it unrealistic, also make it to where it's at least realistic. I mean, me personally, I'd be fine with that if I was a modder, if I was a mod maker, map maker. Oops. There we go. Now we're only driving with the front wheels. That is the one thing I really do like about Giants as compared to other game manufacturers that are out there. They really do listen to their players and to their audience, kind of thing, to where, you know, other manufacturers out there like EA Sports and I've said this so many times, and they might be more involved than what I give them credit for, but me personally, I'm still kind of bitter and scorned over EA and their hockey game that I used to play that game all the time. Every year I would take off a week of work, and I would have PTO squirreled away specifically so I could go buy the game, play it all week, and then just get my fill, and then, you know, not have to go through that kind of jonesing vibe of, oh, I want to play it, I want to play it, I want to play it, I want to play it. You know, like that kind of visceral kind of, you know, a new game kind of feel that I'm sure a lot of us are very familiar with. Might not be for hockey, but I'm sure there's some game out there that many people are understand that feeling. But that used to be what I felt every single year. You know, I gotta play it. I want to play as much as possible. And with that, taking that week off every year would kind of give me more than enough time to be able to play and enjoy, kind of thing, and be able to kind of work out that kind of need in my system, kind of thing, to where I was able to be like, okay, well, now I can, you know, go the rest of the day at work without being like, oh, all I want to do is just think about hopping off and go and play, kind of thing. So, one of those where I miss the days, I miss the times where, you know, I could look forward to, you know, NHL and EA Sports games, but now I'm not there anymore. What was I doing? That's what I'm doing. I'm on 50. Where is this going? Lumberyard. Okay. Well, we're going to the lumberyard. Let's see. Jody says, I love that planter. You can use plant the root crops. It makes it a lot easier. Kinsey, that's a real good planter. Yes. Let's see. I think you're talking about planter. Like this one here is what you're talking about, I think. But I think you're also talking about the modded one, where it's lets you do a little bit more. Now, I do have a couple of planters here. I think they're here at the end. Like the Great Plains one, where it lets you plant everything. That's a really cool mod. Being able to just have one vehicle to plant everything is pretty sweet. But because I do precision farming, I tend not to use it because it's not a... what's the word I'm looking for? It's not one of the ones that will, it's not this kind of seeder planter that will cultivate first. A direct drill, that's the word. Those are words that I'm looking for. Is not a direct drill planter, so you have to disturb the soil first and then use the planter, so it just doesn't save you that step. So I tend to prefer to use the seeders and planters where it's just a direct drill, which is also why I tend to use the mods for I think it's called the seeding options mod. It allows you to select whether you want your tanks to be dedicated to seeds or to be dedicated to seeds and fertilizer, which is really nice, being able to have that option. If you aren't worried about doing fertilizing there at the time of planting and all you want is to have extra seed capacity, you can do that. And I like that. I really do think that that's an awesome kind of approach. Let's see, so we are taking this down to the sawmill. So we can drop this off. Sorry, I just heard a helicopter go over the house there, and I thought I heard something outside again. Again, it just makes me want to get that kind of man cave and be able to put up some soundproof batting on the wall to, deaden the sound. And for all the audiophiles out there who probably listen to my audio and it's like ooh and cringe. Definitely one of those where I would certainly love to be able to do better when it came to that aspect. Like I said, it's drives me nuts every once in a while when I hear that kind of stuff in the background, and it's all because of where I live and all that. I know that. But unfortunately, also in the room that I record in, there's not a whole lot I can do about soundproofing or anything like that. I got big bay windows in front of me here and whatnot, and there's only so much soundproofing you can do with windows. All right, let's get this back. Let's see. Jody says, yes, the modern one lets you do everything in-game. Yes. Yep, 100%. And then Dust Bunny says, and I'm going to actually stop before I read this. So, Big Daddy, Chris S. and Riley S. came out with a new Kenzie planter out that plants everything in-game and does... Oh, that's the one you're talking about. Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out. Definitely gonna have to check that. Thank you, Dust Bunny, for elaborating on that. Definitely want to check that out. Like I said, I absolutely love those ones where it plants everything and is a direct drill. You don't get too many of those. Now I'm excited. Ooh, I want to check that out. It's a Kinsey, so I'm definitely gonna check that out. And it was by who again? It was, Chris S. and Riley S. Okay, yeah, I think I've got a few of their mods, actually. Let's see. And Dust Bunny says, it's called the Kinsey Multi-Fruit Plant. Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. Alright, so I'll elaborate what just happened. So I'm sitting here reading what you wrote there, Dust Bunny, and on my on the same screen that I have the chat window open on is a replay of the stream that we have here. But it's delayed by a few seconds. And I'm sitting there trying to read the comment, and then all of a sudden I see out of the corner of my eye that I'm turning and I'm passing by the corner of one of the fields, and I just instinctually just like, oh no, and thinking that I think I'm driving and that I need to stop and I'm about to crash. So needless to say, it didn't work out that well for me, trying to read and do all that at the same time. But let me get this over to the field here and start to unload, because I think it's open. Yep. All right. Get this unloaded. And actually, I need to pause the stream for just 1 second. I will be right back. Alright, so sorry about that. Mrs. is getting ready for bed, so I wanted to wish her good night and say good night to the peanut. Let's see, so we've got now, let's go back to the first one, which, nope, this one. Oh, technically the second one, actually. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We are really missing out on a lot there. Let's see. Oops. Let's go ahead and do this better. Let's pop out the chat there. Okay. Minimize. There we go. Now we see the real-time stream going on right now. I can't believe I did that. Alright, let me catch back up with the chat here. Dust Bunny says, it's called the Kinsey Multi-Fruit Planter Pack and even does cotton, sugar cane, oh, and poplar. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, man. So normally when I do, like, poplar, I use the one planter, but it's like the potato planter. It's this one here. It's under potato technology. Where is that? There it is. Oh, did I miss it? Where? That's weird. It's basically this one, but modified. Oh, it's right there. Jeepers creepers. Don't know what happened there. Alright, so that's chugging along. Let's go here. Perfect. Let's see. So let me catch up with the chat and see what everyone's saying. Jody says yes. Really good mod. It sounds like it. It sounds like it. I missed that one. Jay Meister, hey, how's it going? Says, hey, BDD, how's it going, Jay? How are you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Dust Bunny says, evening, Mr. Jay Meister. Jay Meister says, hey, Dust Bunny. And let's see, what's your favorite map, Dust Bunny? Let's see. Sorry, I need to do something real quick. Why can't I? There it is. Turn off all wax melters. Oh, why not? There we go. Sorry about that. The missus texted me and needed the wax melters turned off because they emit a lot of light and must not have turned them off earlier. Let's see. So Dust Bunny says, I'm currently playing Addingham Park and enjoying it quite a bit. I don't think I really have a favorite. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I do like Addingham Park. That is a nice map. And I tell you what, most maps, will actually kind of get a bonus from me personally when they are revolving around a real-to-life place. Like Addingham Park. Oh goodness, why can't I remember the American map? Based in Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. What's that called? Oh, that's gonna drive me nuts. That is gonna drive me absolutely nuts. Why can't I think of it? If you know it in the chat, throw it out there. It's either Indiana or Illinois. For some reason, I am just completely spacing. Yeah. Oh goodness, what is it called? I thought I had it there for a second. No, I lost it. Dust Bunny says Colmson, Court Farm, Alma, Missouri are all based on. Yes, so all those maps, all those definitely get bonus points from me. Colmson, love Colmson. Court Farm, I really haven't spent a ton of time on Court Farm, but I do remember it and do like the aesthetics and the feel of it. And then Alma, Missouri. I mean, Alma is amazing. Love that map. Griffin, Indiana. That's the map I was thinking of. Could not remember it. For the life of me, could not remember it first. But all of a sudden it just came rocketing into my brain. Oh, come on. Come on, little tractor. You can do this. Jody says doing 3 contracts right now. Whew. Yeah, I'm trying to get to 3 contracts right now, but I'm just struggling to get these things emptied out and put into place. Come on, little Kubota, you got this. Oh man, it is struggling. Just Funny says Hillbilly Farmer and I both played Griffin, Indiana. Loved it. Great map. That is a great map. That is a really great map. One of those, there were definitely aspects of FS19 that I miss from it. Like the wooded area out behind the home there and having the Sasquatch and all that stuff. I do like the lore that they kind of added to it. It's like, oh, well, the Sasquatch moved on, but he left around these coins and all that stuff. I think that's funny. I do appreciate the map maker going out and making that ridiculously long train. I think that's really cool. The addition, I don't know how I feel about the addition of the, what was it? Like the campgrounds out behind your main farm there, in lieu of like a full forestry area. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, I don't know. It's just one of those that, how do I want to put it? I guess I would have better wanted to utilize the area for my own space, kind of thing. And I guess I kind of fell really hard in love with the FS19 version of it. So seeing that there were these differences, and it was really the kind of the first map that I had seen from FS19 that got brought onto FS22, where I was like really heavily invested in, and saw that there was actual changes made, kind of thing. That was kind of disappointed with that. But that's kind of a me hang up more than like the map maker. And it's not that they did it. Oh dear. Well, that happened. I tell you what, those other YouTubers out there, like I think it's Farmer Cop and whatnot, they have like crash counters and stuff like that. I need to get something like that. By the end of each live stream, it'd just be like a counter of 50,000 plus. BDD's crash counter, and it would just, if we played like an animation with a noise or something like that, it'd just be a constant just bing 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 bing, 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 just a rapid fire of oh my goodness. Like I said, by the end of the stream, it'd be just nothing but this ridiculously high number. Man, I really feel like we're struggling on this leg of the trip. Like, I don't remember struggling this badly on the first trip. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. What are you doing? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Hi, yi, yi. All right, let's go. Let's go. Holy smokes, that that almost ended a disaster. You know, I've been talking a lot here lately about tripping over the finish line, and that would have been like the epitome of tripping over the finish line right there. There we go. All right, so we've got Jody saying Alma, Missouri. Dust Bunny says, for someone like myself who always has horses on my maps, I enjoyed the campground area. Fair enough, fair enough. Jody says Griffin, Indiana is a really good map. Absolutely is a really good map. Let's see. I know there's so many people who are not a huge fan of it. Based on just the comments I've received over the past several months. But I'm really partial to that Frontier map. And I get it. I understand why people aren't necessarily a big fan of it, but I really like it. I really like it because I just think that it gives like this kind of different aspect to playing the game that's still the game. It's not like terribly unrealistic or anything like that. It's just like kind of set in the future almost. To whereas like a map like Close to Home, although I think it's incredibly creative and I really like that aspect of it, is to me less of a quote-unquote farming simulator map than Frontier is. But again, I really do like Close to Home. I do think that that is a really creative map, and a real kind of fun visual map to play on, but not a map that I would personally like invest a ton of time in. Like I probably would never do a let's play or like personal play on Close to Home. And if it wasn't for the music issue with Frontier, I would have done a let's play series on that one the moment it came out. The moment I had the free like the previous series wrapped up and could move on, that would have been on my list. Same goes with like Green Valley from Zero Ito. I mean, people who are familiar with me in this channel know that I have a real deep connection with Zero Ito and the maps that they produce. Like, I absolutely love their maps. Let's go here. Here, let's... I wonder why I missed so much product. I mean, there's lines everywhere that are just missed. That's so weird. Am I gonna make it? Hey, I made it. Nice. Well, we might as well pick up these last little bits and strands here. Let's see. We've got... Dust Bunny says, I tried playing the Frontier map, but there were too many issues with it, so I gave up. It's a wonderful done creation for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I know, Dust Bunny, you should check this out. They made a light version of that map. Maybe that'll give you less issues. Not 100% sure, but might be worth a shot. And then Jody says, Valley of the Old Farm. Oh, Valley of the Old Farm is really good. The old Stream Farm, I think was the other one by Black Sheep Modding. That came out very early. That's a really great map. Even being a tiny map is really good. There's the other one, the French map that they made. That one was pretty good too. Was it the Campaign of France? I can't remember what that one was called. But then, of course, there's map makers like Lancey Boy, who has American Falls. That was a really great map. They put out like I think it was like 2 or 3 really good maps this year, or in this iteration of FS that was really good. And of course, we certainly can't forget about CavalierRoy and the maps that he's put out. I mean, this one is an amazing map. I absolutely adore this map. There's like Riverview Farm. That one's a really good one. And I think there was a third one that was really sharp too. I can't remember off the top of my head though. Wow, I don't know why we missed all these little strips here. Like, normally this happens when you have severe elevation shifts, like if you're going like side to side and your harvester's tilted out, you can like miss these strips. So it's very rare on a relatively flat field like this that you miss these big strips. I don't know what happened there. But oh yeah, another really good map that I really enjoy is Newlands. That's a really good map, especially with all the kind of later changes that were made to it. Those were really sharp. I really like that map. And really any map that I've done a Let's Play series on, like Lands of La Mancha, I really liked Lands of La Mancha. I fell in love with the way that map looked very, very early on. So much so that when I think that was the first map I actually did a Let's Play series on, was Lands of La Mancha, and then I moved on to Newlands, and I loved it back before it got all the updates and the love that it had. So in the time that I did my recordings for my Let's Plays, there was like no starting farm to really speak of. It was very empty and nothing was really there. Now there's a full-blown starting farm with silos and all the stuff that is expected on a starting farm. But when I was on it, I played it and I built it out and made my own farm and did my own things. And it was awesome. And the landscape is just phenomenal. Let's see. Get this little bit here. Alright, I think there's a little chunk here, and I might as well just grab it, seeing that my trailer's over here. Yeah, there's a little chunk. Ooh, easy. Alright, Let's dump this out. Now this is for 110. Where does 110 go? Is this the farm production or is this the other one? Let's see. Farm 110. Farm productions. Okay, cool. Let's see. So we've got Dust Bunny says Glen Lathan, Ebony Island, and also CavalierRoy's. Yes, Glen Lathan. That was the other one I was thinking of. Ebony Island. Yep, that's also a solid one. Yeah, I mean, there's just, we are very, very spoiled when it comes to maps and whatnot on this, and spoiled in a good way is what I'm meaning by that. I mean, we get such amazing maps all the time. One map that I really feel personally is very underrated, that not a lot of people really talk about. Ooh, easy. That not a lot of people talk about is a map called Adelshoven. I personally really like that map. And what I like most about it is that it touches every single product on the base map. So if you want to do poplars, it's got an area for poplars. If it's got, or if you want to do grapes and olives, it's got grape and olive fields already. It's all pre-installed. And it was one of the first that I can remember where it literally touched on every single aspect of the farming that's available for this game. You know, it's got forestry, it's got, you know, not just all the elements, but then it also touched on very heavily the terrain difficulties that are available in this game. So you can have hilly, very, very hilly terrain with the fields and all that stuff. So you had to pay attention to what kind of equipment you're using. You couldn't get away with just, you know, the average, you know, introductory equipment, because you're not going to make it up the hills and make it up the side of the peaks and valleys on that map. Yeah, that one I really, really like personally. Yeah, I mean, there's tons. There's a good amount of maps that we have access to. That we have access to that are just, they're just top stuff. I was actually looking at a list that I had developed the other day of, I basically went through and rewatched the endings of my map tours to kind of take all the ratings that I gave to every single map at those times and copy them all down in a list, so I could kind of have a, you know, throwback sheet to kind of make things like, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Why? No, it's just the, yeah, I only have the front wheels there working, so I don't know why it's turning so hard. Anyways, so now I have a list of all my map tours and what I rated them, and I was actually shocked at how many 5s and 4.5s and 4s I gave. Like, I give far more 5s and 5 to 4s than I do any other rating. And it's actually, I was thinking about it, it's like, man, like, am I just grading easy? Am I just kind of, then I'm like, no, because I'm going through all the individual names and stuff. I'm like, no, I really like that map. No, I really like that map. No, I like that one. Like, I'm sitting there, it's like, are any of these undeserving of what I originally felt, kind of thing? And it's like, no, like, not at all. It's like, I would stand by all my ratings, you know, even today, kind of thing. There's not too many that I'd be like, yeah, you know, I might consider changing that and doing something a little different, kind of thing. So yeah, it just, we gotta dump this here. So we're gonna have 2,900 liters roughly. So let's try and, whoa, easy. Ay, ay, ay. Can I get that barley back out? I don't think I can I? Nope. Darn it. Oh well. So what can I make with that barley? Because now that's kind of trapped in there. I can't get it out. So let's do this. Let's take a look at the productions. Seeds? Because that was barley, right? Wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Barley. 45,000? What? Wait a minute. Do I have access to all the barley from here? I think I do. I'm pretty sure I can take the barley out from this facility. Yeah, I can. What can I make with the barley? That's a question. Probably pig food. Yeah. Pig food. Yep, I was right. Nice. Okay, well, at least I can still get that product out, so I'm okay with that. Alright, let's go ahead and just park this right here because we don't need any more. Don't need that one. And then need to get this little bit here. There we go. I got a little couple of tufts over here too that I need to grab. Let's see. Jody says, I sent you a picture of my, I'm presuming you're going to say farm. Nice, but I'll check that out here in a little while. And then that's one of the best European maps, La Mancha. Yes, I 100% agree. 100%. I absolutely loved that map. Even before all the updates. And then the updates that they put out were just that next level. Like, it really disappointed me to see all those updates so long after I made that series. Because I would have loved playing that map. And there's actually been a couple of times where that's happened to me. Like with Newlands, it was another series that I did that was on the kind of original version of the map. And it was a while after I did that series when all the latest updates came out, and the updates were just phenomenal. Absolutely loved the updates that they did, like adding the slurry points to the residential houses. So like because that whole map is all based around you being kind of a government worker kind of deal, like almost like a waste management kind of worker. And you also have the responsibilities of doing contracts for the city there, or for the town, for the grass mowing contracts for like around the highway work and all that stuff. Like, it's a cool concept, and it's kind of a different way of kind of utilizing that map. And I'm on board. I'm on board with that hardcore. Absolutely loved it. I also loved all the additional things that they put in there regarding like the productions, like with the greenhouses and stuff. Making the tarot, that was really cool because you had to then use a separate product that you got off the actual floor of the map kind of thing. That was really cool. Like I said, they did so much to that map and really kind of overhauled it to where it was like next level cool. So gonna take this last load over to the sawmill, and then we can start our last field there. And that one was what, 115? Okay, so that's pretty much due south of the from the shop there. So I think if I go out to the west and take that road south, I'll be able to get to that field. And that, or I might be able to just go east and then take it straight south. I think that'll actually work better. I think that'll work better. Come on, Kloss, you can do it. I have faith in you. You're not a Kloss. Kubota. Kubota! I saw the Kloss on the trailer. Oops. But yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the other maps that are just absolutely, like, spectacular maps. Let's see. So we're just taking this over. Let's see, and I think the next field, 115, that's also going to the lumber yard. So after we dump all this there, we should be into the next contract. I actually just brought up my list here in the background. So the highest number of ratings that I give out are 4-star ratings. And not even close. I have over 60 maps with 4-star ratings. Looks like I have about 30 maps with 4.5 stars and 41, 42 with 5 stars. So my ratings for maps is actually pretty top heavy. I was really shocked when I made this list, you know, just how much it was kind of tilted to one end. All right, we're done with 50. Got 21% for the other one, so that works out fine. Let's go ahead and park that there. And let's get this. Oh, we are gonna use a different set of equipment. I am not gonna take it all the way over there. There we go. With that Volvo. Not gonna happen. Love it. Okay, so now... reading and not driving. There we go. Let's try that again. Let's go, John Deere. Runs like a deer. Alright, so we are going to go down this way. And I think there's a road up here. I hope there is. I think it's right next to that most southern facility on this road that will let us kind of sneak our way in there into 115. I think that's the case. Hope. Let's see. So there's 115. I'm pretty certain I can get back there from next to this facility here, this production area. No. Hold on, let's see. Oh no, I was right. There is a road there. And there it is. Yeah, that's the field right there. I was right. Look at me go. See, I should have just been more confident in my... Should have just been more confident. Full sentence stop. Okay, let's get this rocking and rolling. Here we go. Let's get this field done. Then we will be golden. So what do you all think? What are some of your other favorite maps out there? Some of your five rated maps. I've got my list up and I'm gonna look through it and name a few here in just a second, but at this point I'm just curious because I never noticed how deep the drop-off was on this side of the map. I really don't come over here that often though, so that doesn't surprise me. So let's see. Now we kind of have a straightaway here. Oh, Buckland Farm. That was a good map. I enjoyed that one. Bally Springs. Nobody threw out Bally Springs. That's a great map. Let's see. Oh, you know what? This is one that I like. New Minibrun. That one's a really good map. I like that one. I like it too. I think that was the map where I really first started to like small farm maps. Like a map where it doesn't necessarily utilize the entire space of a card, like not the full 2x by 2x for us console players. I think that was the first one where I was like, you know what, I can actually grow to appreciate this and really kind of enjoy it. Okay. Okay, we're on the last leg of this particular headland. Let's see. Dust Bunny says Fruling and Fruling 2K23 are both good maps. Oh, those are good maps. Now, the only thing that I don't necessarily care about Fruling, either version of them, is the amount of area that you cannot purchase. That's about the only negative thing that I can really say about either one of those maps. But outside of that, they are just absolute gorgeous maps. They're just, yeah, those are really good ones. Very, I don't want to say underrated, but just because they're not. I think that they've got a really good following with the farm sim community. I think that I do often think that they get overlooked because of them being one small maps, but also at the same time, just not really outside of the main starting farm, really full of pop and panache are probably like the ways to describe it. I feel like they're very dependent on the visuals and the stunning landscape. Make one more headland and it should be good to go. Jody says, after the stream, did you get the pic? So I will check here in a little bit after the stream. Likely after we finish the contract here. Once we finish this contract, I think I'm probably going to be shuffling my way off to bed. Because tomorrow my little one, she has a doctor's appointment, but that's not until like 11 o'clock. So actually both of my wife and I were really surprised, because normally we try and do early appointments whenever we do anything, because that way she's at her freshest. Like, she's, you know, not gonna get crabby or cranky before going anywhere or doing anything like that. So we tend to try and, you know, do things in the morning shortly after she wakes up. I'm going to grab this set of equipment. One, it's faster and it has a bigger capacity. But yeah, it's funny because the past two nights? She's actually woken up in the middle of the night, and she hasn't done this in quite some time. Normally she sleeps right through the night. She's actually really, really good about that. But the past 2 nights in a row, she's woken up at about 4, 5 o'clock in the morning and started to just kind of cry and like, for no reason. Like, she's not like looking around for a pacifier or anything like that. She's just kind of whining. And my wife and I are kind of hypothesizing that she might be cutting some more teeth. So when she was first growing her teeth, she got like pretty much her whole mouth full of teeth all in one go kind of thing. So like there was like a 2 to 3 week window where she was just, I don't want to say miserable, but she definitely, you could tell she was smart kind of thing. Like her mouth was bothering her. And she's got some of the kind of telltale signs that she might be cutting more teeth now. So that's our kind of working hypothesis at the moment. So we're going to be mentioning that at the doctor next, well, not next week, tomorrow. We're going to mention that to them tomorrow and see what they have to say about it. Let's see. So we didn't have to go too far. That wasn't too bad. Alright. Come up here and turn. Then we'll have the entire field. Maybe 1 or 2 more passes, I think. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I had to adjust there real quick. We've got. Kind of spin around and perfect. All right, so we've got. Oh, hey, Saskatchewan, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day so far. Hey, what? Hey, what? Joey says, okay. Saskatchewan says, did you hear about Toby Keith and he was fighting after his stomach cancer? Then he died this week, age 62. It was one of my favorite. What does it say? Conscious century of country music. Yes. Yeah, did hear about that. Was really bummed out and really disappointed. Actually, Toby Keith, I had mentioned earlier, was my mother's like all-time favorite artist, and oops, wrong button. Let's figure it out. There we go. Was one of her favorite artists, so it really kind of struck up a bunch of like old memories for me, and thinking back on like old car rides that we had and whatnot. So it was a bit tougher after hearing that because of the association to my mother. But yeah, it was a real big disappointment to hear about that and to kind of see how things went there. I had no idea that Toby Keith was going through that kind of a battle. As a matter of fact, it was one of those where I hadn't even really thought about Toby Keith in quite some time. And then it dawned on me after hearing about his passing. It's like, man, like Toby, I hadn't heard about him in forever. I just had no clue. So it's kind of one of those like very oblivious moments for me. Let's see, we got Saskatchewan also says, do you think the X9 Combine body looks small? The X9 Combine, let's see. The X9, isn't that this one here, the X9? Or no, that's it. I'm trying to think of which one the X9 is. I'll have to look that one up, bud. Call Me looks small. The X9 looks small. Just hit 147 subs last night. Hey, congratulations. Good on you. Alright, let's go ahead and set this up to have the worker do the rest of this. And I think the trailer is going to be big enough to where we're not going to have to make trips. I'm kind of guessing, but I think that'll be a pretty good guess. Alright, so we are just going to move this out of the way so we don't run into it eventually. Wow, I didn't realize. Holy smokes. It is almost 12:30. I had no clue it was so late. Like, where does this time go? Like, we come on at 9:30, right? We were here since then. 3 hours worth of streaming. I feel like I just started. Like, I'm starting to feel that kind of tired feeling that you get, like, right before you, like, really get tired. But one of those that I still feel fresh and still feel like I'm, like, good to go and whatnot. And it's wild in how you kind of feed off of, like, these streams and whatnot. At least me personally. How I feed off these streams and being able to interact and hang out with everybody. It's wild in how you get that kind of boost of energy. Like I said, even though I feel tired, I do feel tired and I'm going to have to shuffle off to bed here soon. One of those that I know as soon as my head hits the pillow, I'm going to be out like a light kind of thing. Just come, boom, shut my eyes and I'll be done. But yeah, it's weird. It's weird how the body can react to things. Let's see. Saskatchewan says, why do we have oilseed radishes? So oilseed radishes are used as a cover crop. So what you can do is, is that you can plant the oilseed radish over the field. So if you want to have a like a fertilizer state. So essentially, for base game users, people who don't use like precision farming, you can plant it, wait for it to grow, because it basically grows almost all year round. Let's see, except for this map. You can harvest it any time of the year, but you can only plant on this map between March and November. Or wait, March and October? Yes, October. But you, instead of harvesting it, you actually plow it into the ground, kind of thing, and it gives you an extra state of fertilizer for base game users. For somebody like me who uses precision farming, it gives you a little bit of a nitrogen boost, but not enough that would be considered like a full state, quote unquote, because there is no states, there's just percentages on this particular style of gameplay. But that's what it's for, is being able to, if you don't want to use things like fertilizers or manure or slurry, you can use that as your kind of cover and plow it in and get that little bit of fertilization state. Especially if you're waiting a good long time. Like if I were to want to, I don't know, if I wanted to plant potatoes in a field and I have until March to kill before I can plant potatoes, well then I could plant a cover crop like oilseed radishes. I could plant it a couple of times actually, between maybe not a couple of times. I think one time per season maybe, because I think it takes like 2 months. I think it takes 2 months for it to grow in fully. But so yeah, you could plant it multiple seasons. Anyways, sorry, I'm trailing off. You can plant it, plow it into the ground, and then get free fertilizer. It's essentially what it's used for. So let's go ahead and pop this in. So yeah, I mean, essentially what people will use it for is if they don't have access to a fertilizer spreader or a sprayer or something like that where they can put fertilizer on the ground, and they have a seeder and a cultivator or a plow or whatever, then they'll just use that instead. And it'll save them the price of having to buy or lease that set of equipment for fertilization. So basically what it's used for. Let's see. Don't use seasons. Well then, yeah, so it's I still think it works off of every 2 months that you can plant. You can plant it 1 month, wait a month for it to grow, and then harvest it, or quote unquote harvest it. It's plow it in the second month. And then Saskatchewan also says, why mouth can you hate Bale? Sorry, Saskatchewan, I don't know what you're talking about with that one. If you can elaborate, I appreciate it. Let's see, let's go here. So not too much more to go. And you know what? I almost forgot. I need to give a shout out to my tier 2s. I almost completely spaced out on that. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Thank you so much, Mark K, for being my tier 2 channel member. And you're the only one right now. So I greatly, greatly appreciate you being a tier 2. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, go ahead and check out the link in the description below, or you can go to the main channel page and click the join button. You can gain access to perks such as early access to edited content such as the Let's Play series and the channel shorts. You also get custom badges, custom emojis, and that's all starting out at the base level, tier 1. That's for 99 cents a month that you can gain access to all that. And then tier 2s get exactly what you just heard here. You get a shout out every single live stream that we do, and that starts at $4.99 a month. And yeah, it goes to help the channel for the sustainability and the growth for this channel. greatly appreciate every single one of my channel members. I greatly appreciate every single one of my subscribers. Speaking of my subscribers, thank you all so very much. Just before coming onto the stream tonight, we crossed the 1,300 mark. 1,300 subscribers. That is insane. It's incredible. Thank you all so very, very much. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. So very thrilled with how this channel is progressing, how we're doing. Such a great thing. Let's see. Let me catch up to what everyone is saying. Let's see. What I mean is, what month can you bail? So yeah, if you're not using seasons, then you don't have to worry about the months at which you bail, or in this case it'd be plow or cultivate in regards to the oilseed radish. You would just hover over the field itself, like what I'm doing here. If you look at the bottom right hand corner in the field info, we come in here, you'll see where it says ready to harvest, and it'll say oilseed radish, it won't say barley. And all you do is, just like I said, you just plow it in and you're good to go. Either plow or cultivate, and it gives you that addition of fertilizer. Again, if you're using precision farming, then it's going to give you the percentage. If you're using just base game, then it's going to give you a fertilizer state. So if you're on a map where it has 2 states, it'll give you one of the 2 kind of thing. So it's a cool little way to be able to pad out the time of the year if you're using seasons, or you're not using seasons, but you're waiting for things to kind of grow, or you're waiting for something to happen kind of thing. Then it's also a good thing to use, because you can kind of fill in that gap and don't have to purchase the more expensive fertilizer. If you've got a seeder with seed in it, then all you're using is the seed, and you don't have to fertilize it, you don't have to lime it or anything like that, because it's not producing a yield. It is part of the fertilizing process. Let's see. Dust Bunny says, if you're not using seasons, then you can bale hay. Oh. I'm sorry, you did mention hay, and I'm maybe I'm more tired than I think. Anyways, Saskatchewan says, I hate when people say bad languages. It's not nice to have people hear what you're saying. Did I miss something? Did I say something? Or did somebody else? Sorry, Saskatchewan. I don't think I said anything, did I? When people say bad languages in live streams, because people don't like hearing that kind of language. Huh. I don't recall saying anything like that. Did I? Did I? Now I'm confused. Anyways. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, you're good. Oh, so you're just saying as a general statement. I gotcha. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I try to keep my language clean, but there are certainly times where I can... so far, I've been good about being a good boy about being on streams. But one of those that there are times, especially in the company that I may be in, where I kind of go a little overboard with the language. But I do try to curb it when it's live streams, and of course being a father. You know, I do need to get better about that portion of it, though. Yeah, it's one of those where it definitely could be better than what I can be sometimes. But I know the first time that she uses a curse word, it is gonna be one of those, like, a little dagger to the heart kind of feeling. It's like, no, my baby, no, I'm gonna feel sad and be like, oh, why? Why did I have to say that or do that in front of it? Like, yeah, that's gonna be a day. But I remember. um, so I've got two nieces, and one's almost 10 and the other's 7 almost, and I think she's 7. And I remember when they were growing up and they said their first curse word, and their mother was like, no, and she's like, and she's looking at the father's looking at her, they're like pointing the fingers at each other, and it was funny at the time kind of thing, but that was before I was a father myself, and one of those like, ooh, now that's not so funny. It was funny at the time because I wasn't the parent, but now it's looking at it, it's not going to be funny. So I need to be better about that. Let's see. Saskatchewan says no, did it. I have disability. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it just confused me for a second there, thinking that that I slipped up. Like I said, I do try not to, you know, I try to make this a family-friendly channel. In which case, I don't. Oh, where am I? What am I doing? What are you doing, you silly man? Literally drove by the sell point. Literally drove by it. Ay. We are, yeah. Definitely batting 1,000. There we go. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. Ay. Okay, so let's drop this here. Perfect. Now I gotta hover over the trigger because now I can keep a little bit more than what I'm used to. It's gonna be more than 10%. Oh. A little bit, but perfect. We still got 6,919 liters. That is wonderful. Let's go drop this off into the chickens first. We'll drop that off. We'll see how much they'll take. And then we'll just put in the silo and we'll be good to go from there. Let's see. I will catch up with the chat in just a second after we get there. That way I don't drive and crash, because we're known for doing that. All right, let's get this into the chickens. All right. Oh, easy. There we go. Now cut it. Oh, and we still have a little left over. Nice. How much can fit in here? Oh, 30,000. Okay, not bad. Nice. All right, well, let's go drop this off into the silo. Now I'll catch up with the chat. Alright, let's boom. 4,000, 2,000, 2,000. Nice. A little over 8 grand. That's not bad. Not bad at all. And we got quite a bit of product. And our chickens are full. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's see what everyone's saying so far, and we'll go from there. So Saskatchewan says, well, I'm heading out. It's like 11:41 here. We'll see you next time. Good night, and we'll see you next live stream. Well, I appreciate it, Saskatchewan. Hope you have yourself a fantastic night, and you take care. Dust Bunny says, good evening to Mr. Saskatchewan. And then Saskatchewan says, thanks, Sis Bunny. You too. Let's go 49ers. I know Jody is really happy to hear you say that. We'll see how they do. I'm watching the NFL Super Bowl 58 finals this Sunday. Nice. Don't text and drive. 100%. 100%. I take that serious in real life, not so much here in in Farming Simulator. The consequences are far less severe here in Farming Simulator than they are in real life. Anyways, yeah, we got a lot accomplished tonight. We got all of our fields are finally back up and running, with the exception of that field over there. I need to decide what that field is going to be. That might be my perpetual barley wheats for my chickens field, but just got to decide what it's going to be. But really, I don't know if we need it to be that, because, I mean, look at this. We've got this big old barley field here. We could turn this into something else. Wait a minute. Oh, whew. I don't know why that wasn't turned on, but... And actually... Okay, so that's... Actually, both of these are coming due here soon. Both the barley and the red beet field are getting ready to be harvested, so that's nice. Sweet. But anyways, we'll see you next time. All right, Saskatchewan, you have yourself a great night, and we'll see you next time. And I think myself, yeah, like I said, we got a lot accomplished today. We got a bunch of product. We got more product being made and more eggs, which should be coming up here. Oh, no, look, we're getting eggs. All right, cool. Yeah, so we're converting the barley into eggs. That's awesome. We are taking all of our products and put them here in our new storage facility. Oops. This storage facility. As you can see, 4,000 liters worth of wool, 1,000 liters of honey, 2,000 almost. Almost 60,000 liters of eggs. I've got to figure out something to do with these eggs. I don't know what to do with them, though. Let's see. Soybeans are... Soybeans always sell pretty high on the majority of maps. Yes, 100%. Soybeans do very, very well on most maps. But, yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it. Like I said, we got a lot accomplished tonight. And, very happy with where we're at. Like I said, we've got almost $4 million. Hey, almost $4 million worth of money just squirreled away, and yeah, we're doing really good, really, really good. This Let's Play series has been a lot easier than most other Let's Play series I've done. Most other Let's Play series, you kind of go and go and go and go. You're just chugging and chugging, trying to get things done. And then all of a sudden, you eventually reach that tipping point. It just feels like we reached that tipping point very early on in this map. I think it's because of a lot of the decisions that we made. A lot of smart decisions have really paid off. This one in particular, this production is such a gold mine. Like, you look at all the different things that we're producing, especially things like silage additive, which is super cheap, very easy to produce, and is just beauty. We got tons of straw in here. We got a bunch of slurry. I mean, we got tons of product, tons and tons and tons of product. We're producing herbicide. I think we're producing liquid fertilizer now. Where is it? Liquid. Maybe it's not liquid fertilizer. Anyways, yeah, just an amazing mod right here. We got 213,000 liters of methane. Whoo, man, that's a nice payday right there. Yeah, well, I mean, we're doing good. We are doing so good. But I want to thank everybody who came out tonight. I also want to give another shout out to Jody. Jody, again, thank you so much for being the channel's very first moderator. I greatly, greatly appreciate you. It is so great to be able to come out here and to just have a good old time with everybody. I love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you all so much. Dust Bunny, it was amazing seeing you again. We haven't seen you out here in a while. Just glad to see you back out here and hanging out with us tonight. Saskatchewan, it was good seeing you. Good seeing J Meister and was it Gold Gaming? Was it Gold Gaming or was it? Oh yeah, Gold Gaming. I was right. Haha. It was good to see everybody tonight. Good to hang out. I hope everybody has enjoyed the live stream tonight. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. Just shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day, night, evening, wherever you are in the world. Take care.